Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us for the Spring 2024 Employing U.S. Vets Conference. I am so happy to see so many folks here today, a lot of familiar faces that we've seen at so many of these events in the past, a lot of new faces as well. Always great to get new blood here. Thank you all so much for joining us. We have an incredible day lined up before us. We have an amazing slate of speakers who will speak to just critical issues related to veteran employment, as well as employment of military spouses, Guard and Reserve, military-connected community as a whole. After my opening remarks, we are going to bring up our keynote speaker, Michael Miller, Director of the Military Civilian Transition Office at the U.S. Department of Defense. We will also, after that, have I think about 7 panels throughout the day. This will be a full day event. We will wrap around 4:30, and then we have a nice cocktail hour. So I hope you all can stay for that and take advantage of our nice open bar. And I should also mention, we have, in addition to the hundreds of folks in the room today, we have hundreds more watching online. So thank you as well to our virtual attendees. I should also mention something we're very excited about that is new for this conference. For the first time ever, everyone here can earn recertification credits just for attending today's conference. So first, a big thank you to our education partner, NYC SHRM, for working with us to make this possible. Bottom line, here's how it works. All of the attendees to today's conference can earn up to 4 SHRM and HRCI recertification credits, depending on how many blocks you attend. So we have divided this conference into basically 4 blocks. We just started the first block right now. Each of our subsequent blocks comes after each of our breaks. So in order to get your credits, first, I should say, you all already should be checked in for the first session, so no action needed for block number 1. If you do need these credits and would like to check in for subsequent blocks, all you have to do is during the breaks, go to the registration desk where you all got your name badges and tell them you want to check in for the SHRM credits, and we will get you all set up. Just do that before each break. And then we can validate, yes, indeed, they were here, which is important to SHRM for obvious reasons. So very excited about that. Online attendees, I'll mention, it's easy to track online how long you're attending, so no action needed. We have all the information we need there. Before we continue any further, very important right now that we stop and thank a few people. Firstly, and most importantly, would all of the veterans in the room please stand and be recognized? Thank you all so much. You're the reason we're here. You're what it's all about. Thank you very much. A special thank you, of course, to all of our speakers for sharing your wisdom and insights, tremendously valuable. And of course, none of this would be possible today without our sponsors. Our silver sponsors are Fiserv, GXO Logistics, and Spectrum. Our morning break sponsor is Oracle. Afternoon break sponsor, United Rentals. Bronze sponsor, ETF Global. Event friend sponsors, Amerivet Securities, Knowles Precision Devices, and Merck. Thank you very much to each of our sponsors. And with that, it is now my honor to present the 2024 Vets Indexes Employer Awards recipients. Now, most of you here are familiar with our Vets Indexes Employer Awards program. I know we have some new faces who may not be, so for their benefit, I'll give a very quick overview of the program and how it works. This is an objective and very data-focused survey and recognition program that digs very deep into organizations' veteran employment efforts, evaluates them, and then distributes awards based on that. Now, it works primarily through a survey where we ask you a bunch of questions that, really dig deep into your operations. Important to emphasize, all of the data that you provide, we keep confidential. We need it and use it to crunch the numbers, but we would never publish it. And we also sign NDAs to that effect. In addition, important to emphasize, there's absolutely no cost to participate in this program. There's no cost to submit a survey, to be evaluated, to receive an award, and most importantly, there is no cost to use those logos. We think it's very important. This is something that sets us apart from some other organizations. We think it's very important that those logos are something that can only ever be earned based on what companies are doing for veterans, not something that can be bought. So that's an ethical line in the sand for us. We have been amazed and humbled at the surge of interest in this program. Just between last year and this year, more than 100 new organizations participated. Over the past 2 years, the number of participants in the program has nearly tripled. Just incredible growth. So if your organization isn't participating now, I hope you're able to participate next year. This year, we are thrilled to recognize 285 different employers across the following award levels: 5-star employer, 4-star employer, 3-star employer, and recognized employer. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to stand up here and read 285 names, but I will read off the names of the 5-star organizations and also display all of the awardees on screen. So with that, with no further ado, congratulations to our 2024 Vets Indexes Employer Awards recipients. Our 5-star awardees are ABSI Aerospace and Defense, Academy Securities Incorporated, Aldevra LLC, Alight Solutions, Allo Communications, American Family Insurance, American Systems, American Water, ARSC Federal, AT&T, Bancroft Capital LLC, Booz Allen Hamilton, CACI International Incorporated, Cognosante, Combined, a Chubb Company, Comcast Cable, Cushman and Wakefield, CWT Sato Travel, Expansia, Fiserv, General Dynamics Bath Iron Works, General Dynamics Information Technology, General Dynamics Mission Systems, Greencastle Consulting LLC, Hearst Television, Higher Military, IBM, IO Studio LLC, JCTM, Johnson & Johnson, KPMG LLP, Lowe's Companies Incorporated, Maximus, Merck, MI Technical Solutions, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Orlando, Florida, Orion ICS LLC, Performance Contractors Incorporated, Power Home Remodeling, Precise Systems, Prudential Financial, Roberts and Ryan Investments Incorporated, RTX, Sabre Systems Incorporated, Scientific Research Corporation, Serco Incorporated, Southern Company, Spectrum, TAC Industries, Talents Ascend LLC, Tennessee Valley Authority, Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, The Home Depot, Trinity River Authority of Texas, UBS Financial Services Incorporated, United Rentals Incorporated, UPMC, USAA, Verizon, Veterans United Home Loans, Viasat Incorporated, Walden Security, Werner Enterprises Incorporated, Windstream Holdings, Excel Energies, and Zyders Enterprises Incorporated. Thank you all so much. And again, congratulations to our 5-star awardees and all of our awardees for the Vets Indexes Employer Awards program. Again, if you were not able to participate this year, would love to have you for next year. If you participated in this year's survey and you're wondering, well, why did we rank where we did? Or maybe you're just looking for some opportunities to improve. Maybe you're looking for some intelligence on what other organizations are doing. I cannot recommend strongly enough the Veteran Employment Benchmarking Service. This is a new program we set up. We've been kind of developing it over the past several years and have kind of year by year made improvements. And this year we have a lot of exciting stuff to talk through. Big picture, what our benchmarking does is it shows you both at a summary level and in granular question by question detail how your veterans program stacks up with everyone else. And we have several different comparative averages that let you see how what you're doing compares with other organizations. Importantly, this is something that we have made some tweaks to our comparative averages just this year, really based on your feedback. We are very excited to be adding a new industry peer group comparative average. So you can see how what you're doing compares with other organizations in a similar industry. We also tweaked our size-based peer groups to make them much more narrowly defined. So when you see your size-based peer number, you can know that's an organization very close in size to your own. Just kind of more granular detail that is made possible thanks to that critical mass of survey responses, really makes it possible to drill down and get very specific with comparative peer groups. This is the sort of thing that it's better to show than tell. So let me show you all a few sample screenshots that will give you an idea of what this is and how it works. So what you're looking at right now, let me just kind of turn so I can see it, is our summary screen. The words on the left are our 5 major evaluation categories that we look at in the program: veteran recruiting and hiring, development and retention, policies and culture, Guard and Reserve support, military, spouse, and family support. The red circles indicate your organization. Important to emphasize right now, the data we're looking at is not real data for any organization, just sample data for demonstration purposes. But you see that's the red circle, and then the other shapes and colors are our other comparative averages. So you can see how you stack up versus your industry, versus your size-based peer groups, versus the full field of employers responding to our survey, and versus 5-star employers, the most highly rated organizations. So you can use this at the summary level to see, okay, big picture, which categories are we strongest in? Which categories do we have the most room for improvement in? For this organization, we're a real organization. Clearly, their strongest category would be veteran inclusive policies and culture, with probably the most room for improvement in development and retention and Guard and Reserve support. But I think the real value of the benchmarking is when you go one step beyond the summary level view. I think of that as like looking at the full forest. I think the real value is when you look at particular trees, go into particular questions. So let's look at some of those. What we're looking right now at is question 3.8 in our survey, which really asks, what are the ways that your organization tries to bring veterans on board, tries to recruit them? Everyone is very focused on recruiting veterans. How do you do it? So this is a multiple choice question where you can see which answers your organization selected in red on the left, and for each of the peer groups we discussed, how commonly each of these are used. So can be very useful for level setting to see when you're trying to decide for your organization, should we do X or Y? You have limited budget resources, you have to make some hard decisions. You can make that decision kind of based on intelligence of what's worked for other organizations. So that's one look at recruiting. I think of that as kind of the input look. There's also the ability to see the outcome. Obviously, the goal in recruiting is to bring in new hires from these populations. So what we can do is show you that aspect as well. You're seeing question 3.3 from our survey that is establishing what proportion of new hires belong to each of these military connected groups. So you can use it for level setting and really to see, have our efforts had the intended goals? Last but not least, I want to show you one additional level of detail that's available here. This is, similar to our other questions. Everything we've seen up to this point, we've been looking just at 1 year of data. But I wanted to emphasize, we can show you not just 1 year of data, we can do longitudinal tracking for up to 5 and now 6 years of data. So it can be tremendously helpful to see not just where you stand this year, but what your long-term trend has been. So there is a ton. Honestly, I could talk about the benchmarking for the next hour. I will not do that. There's a ton of useful information here. And we are putting the finishing touches on our benchmarking platform right now and should be ready to be delivering benchmarking sessions as soon as next month. So if you're interested, if you want more information, shoot me an email, survey@vetsindexes.com. Again, survey@vetsindexes.com, and we will get the ball rolling. So that concludes my opening remarks. With that, it is now my distinct honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Michael Miller, Director of the Military Civilian Transition Office for the U.S. Department of Defense. Come on up, Michael.